Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, fans of the rumble, the tumble, and the bumble of all ages. Entities who love the funk and can't stop when the one drop drops. Ooh, all of you that love that low, 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 low. What we have had dropped off today, praise the drop-off fairy, is exceptional in the world. I've been around music for longer than I care to admit. Let's just say it's decades now. And this product is finally saying, you know what, I can do what I want. I can do things a little bit different. I can take ideas and put them together, and I can do it affordably. A young company, apropos to me, called BBC. I'm leaving it at that, because this is a family show. They have delivered to us something that is going to revolutionize low-end and bass players specifically all over the world. This packaging is like Spider-Man did it. It's very webby. This is interesting. It's kind of like a garbage bag, but it's not. It's like very cloying, kind of sticky. You can rip it off. Oh, I forgot this is your ASMR moment for the day. Listen, I only do semi-nudes, okay? I'm not going fully nude. Semi-nude is all you're gonna get. You got your limited warranty card. Plug that off to the side. We have whatever this is, so I'm gonna remove it. And then I gotta use my judo skills and trip this thing from the other side. This thing got its own gravity well, y'all. It's like the Blob from X-Men. This thing is just like here, you know what I mean? It's here, and when you wanna move it, you need to have all that Colossus level force to move it. It's funny, I think we have the heaviest and the lightest bass cabinets, individual bass cabs made in the world in one room right now. Because we have the GR Bass Aerotech Aerolite, and then we have the Boom Bass Cabinets Matrix. This is the Boom Bass Cabinets Matrix, ladies and gentlemen. It is what they would refer to as a doozy. But I'm not throwing my back out like this. And then, ladies and gentlemen, the BBC in the house. Twice. You know what I mean? Okay, this cabinet is astounding. The construction, if you punch this, you'll break your damn hand. This is wood. I mean wood, not fiberboard. You can tell it is wood. That is not fiberboard. It's wrapped in this sort of leatherette probably thing. Oh my. And it arrived with a big old dent in it. Man, this is crazy. How many things have come to my house with a big dent in it. And this was in its own separate shipment. So what is this? This is a bass player's dream and also a raver's dream. It is a 210, obviously, but not obviously, 115 bass cabinet, where the 15 is faced at the floor and firing down. See, bass waves are hard to echolocate with our little tiny ears because we have such small ear membranes. So after certain frequencies, and they vary slightly depending on human to human and how big your ears are and how big your ear holes are. And when that happens, you can't really tell where the bass comes from. You're always echolocating with mids and highs, usually mids in human beings. It doesn't matter where as much as people might think it does at concerts, it doesn't matter where the woofers are aimed. It just matters that they're on. Because it all sounds like it's coming from all around you anyway, no matter what. And that's why people say they get drowning in bass and they feel wrapped up in bass when they go to concerts and like EDM festivals and things like and techno things. It feels like it's hugging you if it's loud enough. And it's because you can't tell where it's coming from and surrounding your person. So why is this design so great? First of all, It's cocked, so it slightly fires up. So if you're a bass player and you're playing, you can hear it. It's on the floor usually, it's not usually on a table, and things come out of speakers in cones. So if your speaker is on the floor and it's not cocked slightly up, half of that is firing directly into the floor and then rebounding. So what you're basically doing is getting a slightly staggered signal. So you're hearing a little bit. It exaggerates itself the further away you get from the signal source. So in the back of the room you might hear it, where in the front of the room you may not. But the whole point is you can reduce that by taking that angle and firing more of the bass waves directly at your audience or the listener. Secondarily, the reason that it's got two 10s and not a big 12 or a 15 is that what matters when it comes to bass especially, and what matters when it comes to speaker broadcasting, is the actual square area of the firing surfaces. So two 10s is much more area than one 12, and you can fit them in here. So this is why you see a lot of bass cabinets with four 12s or four 10s as opposed to one big 15 or one big 18. Because as long as more air volume is being moved as the membranes go in and out, you're actually getting a bigger and better bass signal, and it's cheaper to make 10s and 12s than it is to make 18s, and it's easier to maintain them, and they're less likely to break and damage over time. So the bass cabinet becomes cheaper, more enduring, has more bass waves, and does a better job overall. Also, if something does go wrong, they're easier to swap out physically. So once again, easier to maintain. If you look at this thing, it's got super flight level ABS corners. This handle is powder coated and is as good a handle as you can order on the market. This is solid. The beautiful thing here in the back, because this thing does weigh a ton, is that you can go to the airport with it. This bad boy rolls. It's got its own wheel. It's got its own wheelie. All you've got to do is just roll it on home. Isn't that amazing? It's got a giant tweeter in it. I think the tweeter sourced at 300 watts. That's more than you need. So you can play full range through this thing, just your bass. It's gonna sound amazing. It's gonna save your life. And it comes in a lot of colors. This is the standard color. We didn't want to wait for customization in our case. This is kind of their company move, is the red. And we don't really have anything else that's red, so we figured why not, who cares? But you can get them in purple, black, whatever you want. And different patterns like skins, like animals or whatever, they can do all that. So BDC Matrix. The Matrix is their top line, customizable, and the thing's thirsty. Johnny Lang, I think, said this thing is very, very, very thirsty. You need a high amp, and thankfully we have the GR Bass Dual 1400 that has literally two 1400 watt RMS outputs that we can drive the GR Bass cabinet with, and then also the Matrix. And you can use that right there is more than you need for a PA system. Bro, you don't need anything else, and you will deafen you and your neighbors. Trust me on this. But what are we gonna do? We're gonna go out there and we're gonna make art.